Hey everyone, Jeff here at Ben's Place. Today's video is a love story. It's a song, it's a poem. It's about the one thing that I love the absolute most in this life. The one thing that if I lost everything else but I still had it, well, I'd be just fine. The story starts here, in a small little beach town called Samra in Costa Rica. And it's the story of my dog, Max.
Max, buddy. Hi, Max. Oh, buddy. How's my boy?
This is Max when we first met. He's maybe 4 or 5 months old. He was rescued off the streets as a stray. He had a broken right hip. And despite that, Max was just happy. He was always happy. He would see you coming across the yard and he would struggle to get up onto his feet and he would come hopping over as fast as he could, that little tail of his wagging a mile a minute. And he was just happy. He was happy to see you. He was happy to wake up in the morning. He was happy to eat his food. He was happy to go for a walk. Just the joy that little dog exuded. Just, I fell in love with him right off the bat. Everybody loved Max. He was a favorite at the shelter for sure. I've talked before about how I brought Max and his shelter sister Isabel back to North America with me. That first summer together, we took a long road trip across the continent. Lived in the car and camped. And that whole trip, Max he just treated every day with just such joy and enthusiasm. We'd wake up in the car and his little tail would be wagging and he'd be like, "Oh, another day in the car. Great, good. Where are we going?" And he'd hop up on the bench behind the seat, looking out the window, his tail wagging. We'd stop at a rest stop for a walk. He'd be like, "Oh, wow, a walk at a rest stop. That's my favorite thing ever." And he just treated the whole trip as just one big adventure. It was a really great time. Of course, he learned to love Tim Hortons drive-thrus as well. Those were maybe his favorite thing. As I've since learned, that wasn't just Max on a road trip. That was just Max. Today or these days, my alarm goes off and the first thing I feel is Max's tail wag, 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 thumping against the mattress, and he crawls his way up to me and covers me with kisses and, "Good morning, another day, we're together, woohoo! What, we're going outside for a pee? Wow, I love going outside. Bounce, bounce, bounce. What? Trot, trot, trot. Tail wagging a mile a minute. Coming in. Breakfast. Wow, I love breakfast." And that's just Max. He just, like everything he does, he's just so enthusiastic, so joyful. It's so contagious when you're around him. I always said Isabel was my heart, but Max, boy, he was my joy. Max is my joy. Before we left Costa Rica, we got his hip fixed. And as he grew as a puppy and into a young adult, he became so much more agile and fast. And Max, nowadays, Max runs. Max loves to run, and it is the most amazing thing to see him bouncing around and go on in a full sprint and lead the train when the other dogs are chasing him. He runs through the yard, he gets a sprint on, and it's just amazing to watch. You would never know to see him to know that he started out life with such a bad hip and in such rough shape. As Max has gotten older, he's become quite the cuddler. And the best parts of my day are spent when he's curled up on my lap, his head tucked under my chin. I hold him there and I think, this is my whole heart, right here, right in that little 40-pound beige body is my whole world. I think he's a miracle. And you know what else I think? Sometimes I think, how can it be that this being of incalculable worth was free? Literally sitting at the side of the road in a ditch, free to anyone who had enough compassion in their heart to come along and just care for him. How can that be? And what a strange, sad, but magical world we live in that could be true. I could talk all day about my boy Max, about how smart he is, or how funny he is, or how every day he does something to make me smile. But I've rambled enough. Thank you for watching. Thank you for following along and for all your kind words of support. I know I've said it before, but it's true. It really means a lot. I really love these dogs, and I really enjoy sharing them with you and telling you all about them. Anyway, for now, I am Jeff, and this is Ben's Place.